Hi, this video will teach you what mind mapping is and how you can benefit from using mind mapping. If you haven't already got NovaMind, you might like to go to www.novamind.com and download it now so that you can get the benefits of mind mapping straight away. So what are mind maps? Mind maps are diagrams, but they're specially formatted diagrams that help you to organize information in exactly the same way as you think. These days we are bombarded with a massive amount of information, and it's easy to suffer from information overload, which leads us to feel overwhelmed. When we are overwhelmed, it dramatically reduces our effectiveness and leads to the inability to solve problems effectively. Also, when we are suffering from information overload, it's difficult to think creatively and come up with new ideas. We find it difficult to maintain focus on the most important tasks. Because we don't deal well with the information we receive, it makes it difficult for us to organize our thoughts and communicate that to others in presentations or meetings. This means that we communicate very poorly. When we don't have a good way of gathering and organizing information, we also miss out on important tasks when planning projects. Because we live in a world of overwhelm, we forget information that we really should be remembering. Overall, this leads to a lack of clarity and direction. So what's the solution for this? I'd like to propose to you that you use mind mapping. Mind mapping allows you to organize your thoughts clearly. It allows you to remember information, to communicate it much better to other people, to solve problems, and to brainstorm new ideas. With this clarity of information organization, you can easily increase your productivity and see the important issues clearly and easily. This allows you to make better decisions. Because the information is clearly organized, you can give compelling presentations and communicate your ideas in a way that the audience understands. So why does mind mapping work? Your brain stores information using your neurons, which branch out and connect to other neurons using axons and dendrites to pass messages and form associations. Mind maps use exactly the same method of organization. Your branches have simple ideas represented by keywords that are connected through linkages in natural radiating pathways. This is called radiant thinking and is one of the basic concepts behind why mind mapping works. Your brain is divided into two hemispheres. The left hemisphere deals mainly with logical thoughts and following logical linkages between ideas. The right hemisphere is more attuned to pictures, colors, and the flow of ideas. Mind maps cater to both at the same time. Your left brain is catered for by using keywords and representing the information through logical linkages. Your right brain is catered for by using pictures, colors, smooth flowing lines, and the physical location of the branches on the mind map. The mind map as a whole is an image. Our brains are especially good at collecting images through what we see and classifying and organizing the information we see in the image. So what does all this mean? The information is organized logically, so it's easily remembered. It's remembered by its location on the map, the colors and linkages, as well as the keywords that are used on the branches, hooking into both left and right brain thinking. It also stores the information in a very compact form, with the core information being stored using just keywords and the association between branches, and additional nuances being given with the images, colors, shapes and boundaries around groups of related information. The use of keywords leaves your mind map open to extension, which is great for brainstorming and idea generation. This is quite a contrast to what happens when you record information in whole sentences. Effectively, with whole sentences and paragraphs, you're forcing your thoughts down one single narrow pathway. This also means that it's hard for other people to fully understand what you're getting at because they have to effectively enter your reality and your style of communication completely in order to understand fully what you're trying to say. On the other hand, using keywords focuses your language on communicating the content, which means that the ideas are represented strongly while allowing people to think in their own language. The structure of the mind maps makes them ideal for presentations. If I was giving a presentation from a mind map, I would have the theme of the presentation as the center of the mind map, and then have the main topics as the first level branches. Typically, I would have somewhere between 5 and 9 topics for the presentation. Any more than that can cause information overload for the audience. Then the detailed information is represented as sub-branches from those main topics. As you present from the mind map, you give the introduction by going around the innermost branches, then you go into the details for each topic by reading the keywords from the sub-branches from that topic. At the end, you go around the innermost branches again for the summary. In this way, the presentation is logical and easily understood, and it also has the benefit that you only need a single piece of paper or mind map on screen for your entire talk, and you can pace yourself because you can see how many branches there are left to cover at a glance. To further enhance the presentation, you can print out the mind map without the text on it as a handout for your audience, and they can fill in the branches during the presentation. This allows them to use the keywords that mean the most to them, and involves them with the listening, seeing and writing so they understand and learn all the information with all types or modalities of learning. The same logic inherent in the structure of the mind maps means that planning projects is much easier too. You can set out your main project objectives as the first level branches and break down the objectives progressively until you get to the task level, and then you can assign resources to the tasks. Everyone involved in the project can see exactly why they are needed and how their contribution advances the project goals. Also, where you need to do project scoping, it's easy to see all the related costs because they are all sub-branches of one of the objectives. You can therefore remove a main branch and know that it will not affect the other objectives of the project. When presenting the project plan to management or to investors, they can see exactly where the money is going and why they need to spend that amount to achieve the goals of the project. It's also really good for bringing new people onto an existing project because they can see exactly why they are needed and how they can contribute very quickly. Another thing that you can use mind maps for is planning out and writing books and screenplays. You can treat it like a visual storyboard and attach the actual text to the branches. This means that you can easily reorganize the story by just moving the branches around. There are so many uses of mind mapping that we can't go through them all here, but hopefully this has given you a feel for some of the main things that you'll be using mind mapping for. The clarity of thinking, the ability to separate out and remember the important information and communicate it more clearly to others is absolutely invaluable. When you couple that with the brainstorming and problem-solving capabilities of mind mapping, you can see what a huge impact it can have on all aspects of your business and personal life. If you don't have Novamind already, please go to www.novamind.com and download your copy of Novamind so you can try this out for yourself.